Hey, welcome to Monday's Market Outlook here at Top Gun Options. My name is Matthew Buckley. My call sign is Wiz, and folks, the market is just kind of wallowing around right now. Why? It is the week from hell. I haven't seen a week with this many potential market moving moments and meetings and situations in years. So brace for the world economy's most important week of the year. Real quickly, though, I'll get tactical very, very briefly. You have got to be long volatility. If you're not long vol right now with the VIX or VXX or hedged against the market pullback, you're doing it wrong. I never flew a combat mission over Iraq without an ejection seat, and if you're flying around right now without being long vol or having some put protection on the S&P 500, you're nuts. You're going to get killed. Let's take a look at what missiles could potentially reach out and touch us this week. Trump obviously is in Singapore. He's meeting President Kim, and we know Trump, if the guy says anything wrong or disses him, he's going to get up and literally walk out. The market will roll over 1,000 points if that happens. Putin is meeting Mohammed bin Solomon, the future or current, or I think he's a future crown prince, to Saudi Arabia at the World Cup on Friday. UK ministers of parliament are voting on the Brexit bill. Now, I'm pretty sure the way democracy works is the people spoke and they wanted to leave, and somehow they're voting on leaving again or something like that. It's like the Brexit all over again. We made about 22 grand in 2 days around the Brexit trade. I put on a trade the day of the vote. I didn't know how they were going to vote. And what happened? The VIX went through the roof on uncertainty, and then they voted to leave, and the VIX smashed, right? Because why did the VIX smash after they voted to leave? You would think, if you're not that good of a trader, that the VIX would keep going up. No. Once something is known, it's known. Once an event is over with, the VIX goes, okay, well, that event happened. Let's move on to the next one. So we're going to be talking at 1 o'clock today in our weekly Options Live Trade Brief. I'll tell you in a couple minutes how to get access to our weekly Options Live Trade Brief for 2 weeks. But we're going to talk about this at 1 o'clock with our members, because this is a massive week. Emerging markets continue to get kicked in the gut. Why? Because our raging dollar. We have a strong U.S. dollar, and I got to be honest with you, we're the best house in a bad neighborhood. So the emerging markets are really getting kicked in the gut. We talked about pounding Brazil into the dirt here. Take a look. EWZ, sorry about that. EWZ, the Brazil trade. Take a look at this. Take a look at 6-month chart. Man, this thing has just kind of imploded. We did a dead cat bounce last week and then went down. It's doing a dead cat bounce right now. So the emerging markets, I would stay away from. The return of the political risk trade, folks. This picture is worth a 1,000 words. It really is. Yeah, I'm sure you've seen this picture on social media and in the press, obviously. There's Donald Trump sitting there saying, hey, man, this bank is closed. Okay, we're going to have fair trade. You guys are going to start paying the bill for NATO like you've agreed to do. We're done. Love or hate the guy, you can't disagree with something like that. These people have been leeching off of us. These limousine liberals have been leeching off of us for NATO. We've had horrific trade deals done. God forbid this guy wants to make it even and fair. And if you do have a problem with that, you don't own a business and you're not an entrepreneur. How many of you would sign agreements that would put you $800 billion in debt? If you do, you're an awful business person. Morgan Stanley, the tech bubble can burst at any moment without warning. The tech has basically been this rally, folks. This kind of bounce, this near-death experience on the S&P 500 with a nice rip-your-face-off rally kind of looks a little like that, doesn't it? This thing's probably the steepest rally we've had back since the January implosion. So even Ben Bernanke, the former Fed chief, the U.S. economy is going to go off the cliff in 2020. Well, that gives the guy a lot of wiggle room, doesn't it? That's a little political. Hey, the market's going to implode, and if it implodes before then, what's he going to do? Well, it was just earlier than I thought, but I predicted it. One thing I forgot to brief you that's big on the week is we have a Wednesday Fed meeting. Don't forget about that. I almost forgot about that. I'm like, other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, how was the play? There's a massive Fed meeting on Wednesday where Jerome Powell is going to, there you go, FOMC statement, the federal funds rate. Look, we're looking, the last time it's 1.75. We think the consensus is we go up 25 bips. on the Fed meeting on Wednesday. I think that's in line. If the Fed did anything more than that, it would be shocking, and the market would really, really implode. So like I said, folks, there is a lot of events this week that can throw this market in either direction, and I love this headline. Why? Because I trade politics, folks. It's one of the things that, you know, one or two people out of the thousands that come to my webinars, my open webinars, when we're looking for new members, I hate politics, or I hate your politics, just give me the trades. I throw those people out of the room. Why? Because if they're not trading politics, they're wrong. Are you kidding me? Look at these massive swings back here in February and March. What were these? Trade war fears. Trade wars, folks, are politics. They're not economic. They have everything to do with politics. So if you don't like trading politics or anything like that, don't come to TGO, folks. You're going to be miserable. I don't have it up right now, but I have a couple quotes from current members who are like, hey, man, I hate your politics. I love the way you print money. And that's what it's all about, folks. We can talk over beer about politics, but at the end of the day, if I didn't trade what I believed, I'd be broke, and I'm not. Facebook just continues to show us all the roaches in their kitchens. Facebook bug changed privacy settings up to 14 million users. And you know who the bug was with? A Chinese tech company who was on the list of our national security threats. So Facebook just kind of whistling past the graveyard. The chickens will come home to roost on Facebook, in my opinion. Jeffrey Gunlock, my spirit animal, who also predicted Trump's victory in the resulting market rally, he and I both were some of the only financial professionals who got the Trump election and rally right. He is short Facebook, and he's saying, hey, man, the government's hot onto these guys, especially when they're Republicans and Mark Zuckerberg's his limousine liberal. The government either overregulates or they don't regulate at all. But in this case, I'm pretty sure, same thing with Google. Google, over the past couple weeks, showing Nazi ideology when you search for Republicans and stuff like that. They had to come out and apologize. These limousine liberal tech companies, whether it's Apple, Facebook, or Google, their day is coming. But for right now, the market really doesn't care about how bad Facebook is. One of the whiz-isms you're going to learn here at Top Gun Options is the market only cares when it cares. Right? Apple stock falls after report says company is preparing for 20% fewer iPhone shipments this year. That's not a good headline, folks. The iPhone is their bread and butter. They don't do anything else. The Apple Watch, flop. It's over with. Apple TV, never even heard of it or seen it. All this other stuff, folks, that they're supposed to be innovating. If all we're going to do is sit here and wait for delivery of the iPhone 32.2, it better have a teleportation device, folks. So they ain't innovating. Tim Cook is not an innovator. He's not a Steve Jobs. So I'm telling you, the techs are in trouble. What tech isn't in trouble? And we'll wrap up with this. Amazon. And guess what? It ain't a FANG, folks. It ain't a tech stock. What is it? It's a services company with retail. It uses tech. I get it. It ain't a tech company, folks. I get Amazon. I use Amazon S3 and all that stuff. But when I told people about back in October, folks, where's October? October, I said, get out of we had Facebook, Apple, Jan 19, Jan 20 positions. I said, get out of them. They're done. All those politics and all this crap's going to come home and get them. I said, put all of that in Amazon. It is up 73% since I said get out of Facebook and Apple and get into Amazon. Let's take a look at the ones that I said to get out of. Let's take a look at Facebook since I made that call in October. There's Facebook October. Here's Facebook today. Do you like 77% return or 18%? How about Apple? Where's Apple October? Let me get rid of this line. We go Apple October. There's October. And there's Apple. 25. Now, in a regular year, I'd love that type of return, 17 or 25. But say in a regular year, and I'm not a regular trader. Amazon, I said, get out of Apple, get out of Facebook, roll all that money in those positions into Amazon, you'd be upset. That's the stock going up, folks. That's not the options. The options are up fourfold. We have TGO members here. Where are my testimonials? Well, you know what? I'll show you next time we meet here. But in our testimonials, we have people in the Amazon that are just absolutely crushing it, and it's nuts. We're we're doing great. So tell you what, folks, it's going to be a very, very interesting week. For my members, we're going to talk about getting long volatility and hedging for this week. It would be great if everything goes right and every one of these meetings and all the heavies talking around the world. It's not going to happen. Something is going to happen this week that the market doesn't like, and it's not going to be good. And in the blink of an eye, the VIX can go up 10, 15, 20, 30%. In a headline. So if you're not hedged, you're not doing it right. What you need to do is head to topgunoptions.com and scroll down. If you're skier, this will look familiar. Even if you're not, you probably get it. We have 3 test flights you can do: beginner, intermediate, advanced, and for the price of a bad bottle Pinot Grigio, $14 for 2 weeks test flight into the primary. I think it's $28 for intermediate and advanced. Advanced isn't for smarter people, or people who know what they're doing with options. Advanced is our weekly option service. Like I said, today we're going to potentially put on a trade, and we could be out of it by tomorrow. We could be out of it by Friday and hold it all the way to expiration. We could be out of it Wednesday. We could get into a new one on Thursday. So the only reason advanced is because they're shorter dated options. So beginner is our retirement portfolio, intermediate is intermediate, and advanced is just weekly options. So take a test flight, folks, and check out what we do here at Top Gun Options. But it's going to be interesting, and you can always go to our homepage right here, and you can sign up for these daily videos right here, right? Type your email and get the morning SITREP. So I do a SITREP. It's a military term. It's a situation report. So I put out these daily situation reports, and just come to our homepage, type your email right there, click Get the Morning SITREP, and you'll get this video every day going forward. Okay? All right, folks, I got to run. I got to get ready for my 1 o'clock live trade brief. Have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge, and God bless.